So I'm here to do Super Smash Bros. For you this month. On the Switch, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate does what it says on the tin. It's the ultimate version. It pulls in all the characters from previous installments in the franchise, and it adds 8 new ones. There's some that you can download on top of that, including Banjo-Kazooie, which I'm excited about, but I'm not going to because I don't pay extras on games. This game costs enough. I'm not going to have to buy extras to enjoy it anymore. It's enjoyable enough as well, to be fair. So I bought this as part of a digital bundle. So I bought my Switch. It came with a download for Super Smash Brothers. And I'm not really a big fan of digital gaming, if I'm perfectly honest with you, because I've had to buy the game. I've had to buy an SD card for the game. This Super Smash Brothers has so many downloads and things in it. There's new characters coming out. There's new music. There's new stages. There's new skins for some of the characters. That I'm having to download updated versions all the time. Actually, it's getting to the point where it's going to exceed my SD card, and I'm going to have to buy a new one. So this game's actually ended up running me quite a bit. But it is an enjoyable game. I mean, we all know Super Smash Brothers, I'm sure. It's got a roster of classic characters, Sonic, Mario, some of the newer Final Fantasy characters, Pokemon, all kinds in it. And you pick one, and you beat the living tar out of another one. Sounds basic enough, right?
So back on the N64 with Super Smash, I did every fight with Fox. Now I've changed that up on Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm using Little Mac. He's a boxer from the NES. Anyone remember the NES? No? I've used Pac-Man for a bit. I'm sure you all know that. And I've played around with most of the characters at this point. Duck Hunt Dog was a surprising amount of fun, actually. So I feel like this game was made with online in mind. Not having tried online, I can't really say for sure. But I've split fights against the computer into two categories, basically. You've got easy and impossible. The easy fights are finished in about 5 punches. The hits are hard, so I only have to land 5 in most cases to launch an opponent. The impossible ones are the ones where I can't actually land these hits, either because I'm overwhelmed by numbers, my opponent's too fast, or they just clobber me so bad I never get the chance to mount an attack. I'll grant you that criticism is largely due to my own choices. I could probably fight in a cleverer way, use cleverer tactics, more moves, but why would I? Most of the fights I have against the computer, my way works. I completed the main game that way, and I won most of my spirit fights. And I don't actually mind it. I quite like bossing these fights. It's been about 9 months I've been playing this game for. I'm still not bored. So there's been a lot written about the various modes and the way that spirit mode works, so I'm not going to go into that. What I will say is it's not as complicated as it sounds. I had visions of it being a case of allocating points to spirits and picking the perfect one for a fight. It's really not. I've got a standard loadout of 3 spirits and sub-spirits that I use. And then I'll switch them around when I have to, but it's always obvious when that's the case, like the floor is lava. Use immune to a lava spirit. The winds will blow you off the level. Use immune to wind spirit. It's really not any more complicated than that. There's hundreds of spirits, but I probably don't use more than 10. Most of them are duplicates anyway. So don't let the spirit thing put you off if you don't want that much admin. Don't get me wrong, if you want to, you can properly geek out. There's like limitless variations of rules and spirits and pickups that you can factor into matches. I saw one person who basically had recreated Street Fighter in the game. Other than spirits, there's a few other modes like fighting 100 fighters. Free tip, keep hitting hard. Or playing a tournament, or just smashing through the roster of characters. But my favourite feature of this installment in the Super Smash Bros. Franchise is the Mii fighters. You can create a Wii-style Mii under one of 3 templates, like gun-toting, sword fighter, or fighter, and play as them, which is why I have the gun-toting Hairinator and the sword fighter El Hair. It's fun using your avatar to beat up these classic gaming icons, like punching Pokemon. But you can actually go further than that, and actually it can be quite cathartic. So imagine for a minute, if you will, someone who irritates you immensely. Now imagine creating an avatar of them. Now imagine your avatar beating the living tar out of them. Don't you feel better? The various modes and constant spirit battles keep the game feeling fresh. It's about 10 months in, as I say, and I'm not that bored of it yet. Then there's the classic mode. I mean, it's called the classic mode, but I take umbrage at that. You can pick from the extensive character list, and there's like 70 odd characters now, and play the old mode from the N64. Remember, all you had was that work your way progressively through the fights, same fights every time. Um, but they're not the same fights like they were on the 64. Every character has a different fight roster. Some of them have the same ones, but largely they're different. Some don't even fight a hand at the end, and some reason with some of them you have to fight two hands at the end, a pair of hands, if you will. It's fun and it keeps you entertained, but it's not nostalgic.
And that pretty much sums the game up, really. Fun, yes. Nostalgic, not really. It's not going to feel like it did playing it back on the N64. Not going to bring back those memories, but you will have fun smashing your way through a roster of characters. In terms of game price, it is expensive. It's newly out. I say newly out. It came out last Christmas, but that's still classed as new, and it is still expensive. But you do get a lot of wear out of it. As I say, there are constant updates. There are different fights being loaded all the time to try. So 9, 10 months in, and I'm still enjoying it. Still getting wear out of it. And I guess if that's what you're looking for, it's quite a good game just as a sort of ancillary to your collection, just to play for 15 or 20 minutes here and there, which is all I do with it at this point, since I finished the main mode at least. But it's a good game. I think most people enjoy it. If you like Super Smash Brothers, get it. It will definitely meet your expectations. If you just want a beat 'em up game, there are cheaper options out there. You buy Super Smash for the nostalgia, for the love, for the joy of punching a Pokemon in the